You are shifting and changing your subconscious story by you literally facing your fears.
Fearless. On the other side of that door are dreams waiting to be lived, new loves waiting to be found, countless adventures waiting to be explored. I know it's scary, but open it. Walk through.
Happy Monday, or whatever day you are viewing this video. Welcome to your weekly self-love message. This is what your soul wants you to know about your journey. So, let me tell y'all something. I had a weekend. Do you hear me? I had a whole weekend. One of the things that I know to be true, because I know it, like literally, I want to say in my mind, and also because I've done it and I'm doing it, is running towards your fears. When I tapped into what it is that your soul wants you to know this week, your soul wants you to know to run towards your fear. Whatever it is that you fear about doing, about being, about achieving, about expressing yourself, showing up for yourself, you know, that fear could look different for everybody. It could be as simply as nourishing your body, nourishing your mind, you know, following your dreams, going to get the help that you need, leaving your comfort zone. I just feel it is highly important this week that you run towards your fear. The fear could be different for everybody, but your soul is asking you to run towards it. You just gotta run towards it. You just have to step in the direction, go in that direction. You notice I didn't even say conquer it, but your soul just wants you to run towards your fear. Because on the other side of your fear, on the other side of that resistance, it's your triumph. It's your victory. It's you blooming something, yourself, something that you're passionate about. It's your healing. It's your new story, your new chapter. Everything that you desire is on the other side of your fears. So this week, you are being asked to run towards your fear. Maybe it's running into a therapy office, okay? Maybe it's, you know, putting yourself out there, doing something different, signing up for yoga class, I don't know, starting like getting some singing lessons, starting to express yourself creatively. You know, maybe it could be a little unpleasant, you know, facing childhood fears, facing these limitations and these stories that we told ourselves that were ours, but they're not ours. Okay, they were passed down. They were things that we just put on. Maybe you running towards your fear is you letting go of one old story or one old version of yourself and allowing a new one to be birthed. The fear is different for everybody, but nonetheless, your soul wants you to know, run towards that very thing that scares the shit out of you. Because that is where your happiness is. That is where your joy is. That is where your victory is. You facing that very thing that you don't desire to face, because that thing is what controls you. Oh, I had a whole conversation with fear this weekend, honey. When I tell y'all, so many things were coming up for me not to do that self-care summit this Sunday. I don't even know how. I was involved in a shootout. People were shooting over my head. I was running. The person that's getting shot at is running behind me. Guys, I darted into freaking traffic and just like thrust myself in like the dirt on the other side of the road. And literally while I was on the ground and I'm hearing gunshots just bloop, 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 bloop everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, I am really protected. That's all I could do is thank my ancestors in the middle of that. I was like, oh my God. And here I am. Sometimes we can be nervous to step out of our comfort zone. We can be nervous to express ourselves and to stand up, take leadership of our lives, of our desires, of our wants, of our health. And that's mind, body, soul. We can be so afraid to start, to do, to leave. This weekend showed me, oh no, I told fear, you are the ghetto. This is ghetto.
Ah, the ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto.
We can't do this no more. It's a no for me. I'm gonna need you. No, you gotta get your bags. You gotta get your things. You got to go. And that's fine if you don't believe me. That's fine. Because I know I done told you about 20 times we were done. But we done. We're done today. So I want you to make that declaration with me. We are breaking up with fear. We are not, honey. That is the ghetto. That is so last year. We're already ahead of our times, okay? And guess what? Even when those fears come up, we are making a decision to run towards them. And this is why you have to do that, my love, because as far as what your soul wants you to know, I really like this deck that we used last week. I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna do it again. But I pulled what your soul wants you to know. I just shuffled and put the cards down so we can pull together as far as the incoming energy this week. What does spirit want to tie this in with? But the message that came through, I was like, wow, because when you decide to run towards your fear, 2022, I want you to run towards your fear. Do you hear me? Don't you dare play small. Not on yourself. I want you to run to your fears. Run towards them. Because when you do that, you are trusting yourself. All right? I love how my soul sister Tiffany put it. You are trusting without trepidation. I think I said that word right. I'll put it right here.
Trepidation, a feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen.
When you throw caution to the wind and you make a decision to run towards your fear in spite of, when you are trusting the divine and the will plan for your life, do you know what kind of beauty will come out of that? Let me tell you something. It was something happened this year and people were talking about vulnerability. I'm like, I'm vulnerable as hell. Like, what is people talking about? I'm open. That is a part of vulnerability, but for real, vulnerability requires something that a lot of people don't like to give, okay? It's trust, okay? Facing your fears requires you to be vulnerable, okay? Because you don't really know how this is going to go. So it asks you to trust, right? So when you face your fears, my love, you are trusting yourself in spite of. That's what you're saying energetically to yourself. When you face your fears, you're like, that is you having a intimate, vulnerable moment with the self. That is you trusting you. You trusting where the divine is sending you, where your ancestors, where spirit, your angels, your guides. When you decide to not allow fear to interfere with that, and you keep it going anyway, that is building trust with yourself. And everything that we do in life requires how we want to show up and express our gifts, ourselves. That requires trusting you. That requires you to trust yourself no matter what. So when you run towards your fears this week, when you face that, when you look at it, when you acknowledge it, that is you cultivating a trusting relationship with yourself. And the more that you build on that, the more that you do that, the more you're going to open up and really be vulnerable with yourself and with life. But everything begins with you. So the cards that I chose for you is we got Toad. Can you guys see that? Toad. It came out reverse, right? But we got Toad right here. When it comes to the Toad, this talks about humor and it talks about joy. So when you make a decision to run towards your fears, right? Ultimately, you are running towards your joy, okay? You are running towards your peace of mind right here. So this is why it's so highly important that you face your fears, you run towards your fears. Because that's where your joy lies. That's where your victory is, okay? That's where the triumph is. And, you know, next we have Doll. Sorry, guys, can you see that? Can you see that? Yep, there we go. We have Doll right here. And this talks about illusion, old wounds, childhood. Ooh, the childhood. You know, and what I've realized this weekend, even with everything that I, you know, some of the fears that I was facing within myself, and what you're going to realize this week with you making the decision to face your fears, that the very thing that you were scared of, the very thing that, you know, maybe you were allowing to control you or to keep you stagnant or to keep you in anxiety or worry, 10 times out of 10, when we finally do it, we realize it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that scary. It wasn't the end of the world. And I'm not going to lie to you, even with me being in that situation this weekend, it just showed me how my slogan for 2022 and beyond here and right now in this moment, it's more life. More life. More life. Gratitude that we can even share this moment right now, because so many people did not wake up and they won't have this day again. They won't have this moment again. They won't have this opportunity again, but me and you do. I feel like fear is all about your perspective, and sometimes we can let our anxiety get the most of us. Baby, listen, because I can just feel somebody saying, Tori, you don't understand. Yes, I do. I do. If don't nobody understand, Tori understands. But I want to let you know, everything that you desire, all of your joy, all of your goodness, your healing, setting that inner child free, is on the other side of you facing your fear. And like I said, for everybody, that fear can be different. It's smelling real good this week, because with you facing your fears, with you looking at that thing, with you no longer allowing that thing to control you, with you letting that thing go, you don't even realize you are entering into a new story. The old one is finished. It's done. Right? This is why we face our fears. This is why we, you know, even when it's scary, this is why we do it. Because you know what? With bravery right here. Oh, I just love how these cards flew out. Because this is what it's about right here. Bravery. No matter what. Because I'm telling you, on the other side of your fears, whew, there are dreams waiting to come true, honey. It's you know, with bravery right here, and then the transformation. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know who this is. I don't know, but I like it. It's mysterious. You know, with transformation right here, we have story, we have bravery, transformation. You're going to change your story when you face your fears. You're going to walk away from, you see all these little shadows in the back? You're going to walk away from these. So that's what your soul really wants you to know. Whatever you're facing this week, whatever you're looking at, whatever path you're on, it might be a little scary. It might be a little shaky. However, run towards your fears. Run towards them. Do you understand me? I want you to run towards your fears this week. I'm telling you, because look on the bottom of the deck. We have the Two of Cups. Love, fulfillment, joy. Everything that you love is on the opposite side of you facing your fears, right? So let's just see, Spirit, tapping in to the beautiful soul's energy who is watching. What would you like them to know this week? What is the incoming energy for them this week? Oh my God, the star shining, rising above. Oh, this is good. Look at this, 10 of Cups. You better run towards your fears this week. You better face it. Whether it's, you know what, you told yourself you was working out this week. You were going to do something nice for yourself. You were going to finish. Do it. Run towards your fears this week. Because look right here, the star. I want to read this to you guys. So it says, the star linked with Aquarius. And we know that we are in the new age of Aquarius. And this is about embracing your authenticity, embracing your truth, right? Embracing your weirdness. So it says, linked with Aquarius, associated with self-confidence. Well, I always mess his word up. And recognition, recognizing the self, okay? But it says, after the storm comes peace, and after the darkness comes light. The star card encourages us to have hope, optimism, faith in divine intuition, and trust in our inner guide. It offers the gift of premonition, meaning a strong feeling or knowing that something is going to happen, right? The star is the light that guides the way. The pyramids have an astrology connection to the star. The mermaid water barrier introduces a holistic new perception of life in the age of Aquarius. I'm telling you. The falling of water from the ancient pitcher gives wisdom and life to the world and activates the subconscious. So what's happening when you make a decision to face your fears, when you make a decision to do that very thing that you're nervous of, to do that very thing that you're scared of, you are reprogramming your subconscious mind. You are creating a new story, which is how you create a new reality. And if you into manifestation in the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks, you already know how this goes. So this week you are shifting your subconscious mind, and what people don't realize is that your subconscious mind is really what's running the show. It's not your conscious mind, okay? Your subconscious mind is those repetitive thoughts, patterns that we think or that was passed down to us, you know? And until you get it in your subconscious mind that you can do anything you put your heart to, that you are worthy of love, that you deserve a nourishing, beautiful connection. You know what I'm saying? Like you deserve to be happy, you know, and until you get that in the subconscious mind, even if opportunities and things came your way, you fully wouldn't be able to show up. You fully wouldn't be able to receive it, right? So you are shifting and changing your subconscious story by you literally facing your fears. You're telling your subconscious mind, oh, we're not afraid of that. Oh, that doesn't bother us. Oh, yeah, you're giving your subconscious mind a new program. You're telling it a new story. It's kind of like why we do affirmations, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, ooh, that's another way of like rerouting the subconscious mind is by facing your fears. You know, kind of going back to this weekend, how all those events and those things came up. So I just couldn't speak because that was me, guys. You know what I'm saying? Facing my fears and sharing myself and knowing what I desire to do on a deeper level. I have a passion, but y'all already know this, right? I have a passion for motivating beautiful souls. I have a passion for speaking. And one of my things, like when I turn this camera on, you know, I just come alive, you know? And even if I mess up, it's just, I don't know, it's something natural. I think the more that me being in front of the camera, I've just gotten, you know, used to it and good with it, you know. One of the things I'm going to be doing in 2022 is really going live on my YouTube channel and in my Selflove Academy on Patreon. I've done lives one-on-one with people, but like sharing myself, doing it in the moment, you know, that was new for me. That was like, oh, I was like, can all of my love muffins please show up and send me good vibes, you know? Like, that's what I was praying on the inside, right? But I hit another level because I really feel in my heart, Spirit really didn't really care how I did it, because I feel like at some point the divine will take over and I will just flow. But it was more about me not resisting the process. Because if you ask for something and you say you want it, you better believe the universe gonna send you a test. The divine gonna send you a test to see, are you really ready for that? Are you really about that life? And the more that you face your fears, you are showing up, letting Spirit and everybody know you about that life. So this week, that's the energy. Oh, the incoming energy, right? And it also talks about how these two fish right here on this card, it represents Pisces, you know, options and development. And I feel like, you know, Pisces is that dreamy energy. That's what I'm telling you. You better run towards your fears, because everything that you desire, everything that brings you joy, everything that, honey, when you get it, those tears will whoop, whoop, dry up, is on the other side of you running towards your fears. You got to run towards your fear. You know? I don't know, this is a little dark, but my sister was watching American Horror Story, and the only one that I like to watch is the one with the witches, right? And you know, it's a long series, but what I want to talk about is there was a part where they had to see who was the supreme, who was the highest witch, okay? And I always like to say this is what separates that 1% energy, or the people, or people who are happy and, you know, fully embrace their truth and fully embrace themselves and get to live their dreams, right? In that dynamic, it's the people that make a decision to face their fears. In the American Horror Nights, is American Horror Nights of Stories? I don't know. I just like the Covenant, the witch one. It's about like they have to do these games to see who is the Dandada, you know, the top supreme witch, you know. So one of the things that they have to do is that they have to basically be put to sleep into a dreamlike state, right? Where they have all of these illusions and they're faced with their fear. Whatever they fear is going to be there. And one of the little sweet little witches that was so powerful, she was afraid to, you know, hurt or harm an animal. And so they morphed her back to where she had to dissect a frog during school, and she couldn't face it. It wasn't real. It was an illusion, but she couldn't face it.
And being that she could not face the illusion, she could not face her fear of cutting through the frog, ultimately she was stuck in that dream state. She was stuck in that illusion. And that is what happens when we allow our fears or what we're afraid of. It will hold us hostage. And that's exactly what it did to her. So because she was unable to face that fear, she wasn't able to break out of that paradigm. Did I say that right? Or that reality or that situation. And that's the thing with facing your fears. I know that it's scary. However, it's how you break through the pain. It's how you break through the illusions. It's how you get to the part of your story that feels good.
And that's what ultimately our fears, I want to say, do to us sometimes. We're afraid to face it, but it's an illusion, right? So you've made a decision to face your fears. I'm proud of you. You've made a decision to no longer allow that to be your story. Shout outs to you. You're done. And because of that, the incoming energy is you're getting a new story. Subconsciously, you have freed yourself. You are no longer in a pattern. You're no longer in a cycle. And as we know, Chiron goes direct on December the 19th. Chiron is the wounded healer. And it really shows us that wound, that thing that no matter how much we run and try to get away from it, until we face it, until we deal with that, nurse it, nourish it, clean it, patch it, do what we have to take care of that, we can't move on. We can't fully, we're find ourselves in a cycle. So you've completed a cycle. You completed a major cycle when it comes to healing and stepping into your power. And now, because you've done that, get ready. Because when I see the star, it also talks about star quality. So if you have something that you're working on, something that you desire, I wouldn't care if it was related to love, career, yourself, all of the above, it's happening. Right? You've broken the code. You have entered and put yourself in a new reality. Right? There's a newness here. That old story is done. On a subconscious level, you are currently now creating a new, I want to say a new movie. You took out that old movie that you kept replaying in your head, and now you are creating a new story. So that's the incoming energy this week. You're creating a new story right here, right? So let's see. What needs your focus now that you have created a new story for yourself? You have created a new life for yourself. You've left something behind. You're done with it. That's no longer your truth. That's no longer your story. You're a new person. So let's see. What needs your attention? What needs your focus this week? Because you are getting a new story. You are in a new story. Let me correct myself, honey. You are in a new story. So let's see. I'm going to take this one. Two of Wands. Anytime I see twos, it's all about making a decision. And I just heard Kanye through the fire. Or is it through the wire? I don't know, but I just see or Diana Ross through the fire. Listen, going back to what we were just talking about. You see him with his bow, he's on a journey and there's this fire. So what needs your focus this week is for you just to continue on your path. And I don't feel like it has to be something that you're doing exactly for everybody this week, but just know when those fears come up, face them head on, right? Because this card, Two of Wands, represents domination, tackling what's in front of you. It says Mars in Aries. Everything is under control. Energy directed towards new paths, actively seeking fresh challenges. This card dissects shadow and light, yin and yang, balance and integration. So I really feel like this is what's happening for you this week. All right, you're balancing out the self within by you making a decision. I can't get away from an intuitive note, from facing your fears, running towards your fears. You are creating a new story. So even with him right here, so what needs your focus this week is for you, I want to say, internally preparing yourself for this new path, preparing yourself for, being up to the challenge, right? And I feel like this is internally. So even, like I said, be about your self-nourishment. Be about your affirmations. Be about just nourishing your soul. However you do that, whatever way that feels good to you. Because like I said, with everybody, that fear is different. But it's about nourishing your roots. One of the quotes that Spirit gave me to share at the self-care summit was, you are only as strong, healthy, and happy as your roots. And self-care allows you to nourish your roots, okay? Self-care is nourishment for the mind, body, and soul. So again, I want to invite you guys to check out these two phenomenal women's beautiful summit that they have put together, and join us in the Heal for the Holidays. Okay, and come get some, allow your spirit to be poured into as you prepare for your journey. And even if you don't do that, do something for yourself, okay? Because you are on a new path, and what's that thing, old ways won't open new doors, right? So it's kind of like, not even always won't open new doors because you're already in the new path. But what's that? The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect change. No, it's going to get you the same results that you desire. So if those are the results that you desire, then keep doing that. But if it's not the results that you desire, then this will be a perfect time to go within and challenge yourself to do something new, to open up to fully to this new path that you are on. So my love, that is the message that wants to come through me to you when it comes to your self-love journey. This week, I want you to run towards your fears. All right, I love you guys so freaking much, and I was waiting towards the end to let you guys know that today is my birthday, December the 13th, or if you're watching this throughout the week, my birthday was Monday. But I love you guys. Have an amazing week, and I will catch you on my channel. Take care.